Let's get into it then. So, Manchester United still twiddling our todgers, doing absolutely nothing at all in terms of either incomings or outgoings, really, at the moment, it seems. Lots of other clubs doing loads of business. We were talking about it last night. Spurs doing bits. Now, with a couple of quick signings, swift signings, Kudu done in a matter of days, Gibbs White done in a matter of hours, really, comparatively, compared to what, United have been doing in the transfer window, which has taken, it seems like a millennia to get this Mbuemo deal done. It's it's awful so far. This has got to be the worst transfer window that I can really remember since Fergie left. I think David Moyes' transfer window, the first summer that Fergie left, when we had Moyes coming, I think that one's right up there, isn't it? Because we didn't sign anyone. We signed that Marouane Fellaini melt, who actually, let's face it, if Marouane Fellaini played for this Man United side, he'd probably be one of our better players. Let's be totally real. But back then, wasn't up to it really, and that was a bit of a crap summer signing, bit of a crap summer transfer window in general. But this one, wow, this is almost as bad. I guess it's not quite as bad because there's still plenty of time left in the window for us to actually do business. We just haven't done it yet. But so far, it is trending to be a pretty gash transfer window, I think that's fair to say. We've been dealing with this Mbuemo saga for the best part of a month now, or even more, is it? It's around that. I mean, it's a long time we've been discussing Mbuemo to United, and they haven't been able to reach the agreement. The situation is just the same as it was a couple of days ago, really. They are expected to be having these negotiation and talks behind closed doors, obviously, and, trying to reach an agreement. But structural issues there in the deal means that it hasn't been agreed just as of yet. They haven't quite reached the agreement, but it could be any moment, as we said. We talked about the fact that it's not that far away. We've had 2 bids rejected. They know our stance. We know their stance. One of us is going to have to bend a little bit to get this deal done, and it will probably be us. Probably will be United bending over like we usually get bent. But, either way, right now, we just need to pay that extra and get him in and give Amarin the tools that he needs to do the job required. Because, obviously that would be a big signing. If we could get Koeman and Mbuemo, that's a good start. It's a good start. It's nowhere near enough. This time is running out. Time is of the essence to sign other positions and players as well. But it would be a decent start, wouldn't it? Koeman and Mbuemo, that's good stuff. That's going to add a lot of goals to your team, you would think. Anyway, you would think. Unless they catch the United disease as soon upon entering Old Trafford and just fall to bits. I don't know. But hopefully they're going to be really great. They're proven Prem players. Get those in, work on a couple of others. But we can't seem to get that agreement done with Mbuemo. So right now the transfer window is shite. Brentford holding out for big, big bucks. Seemingly doing business with other teams or are prepared to do business with other teams. But just realise that they can bend Man United over, I suppose. So, pretty awful. But anyway, look, there's not really anything on Mbuemo anyway. We'll see if there's anything new that comes up, really. But this is from Fab earlier on. It just says, on Bryan Mbeumo to United, the Bryan Mbeumo deal for United has not been called off. Bryan Mbeumo is not in a war with Brentford, but still a situation where Manchester United want to pay what they believe is a correct fee for Bryan Mbeumo, while Brentford are asking for the money. So this is the point, but the conversation's still ongoing. So it's just much of the same, really, in regards to Mbuemo. I'd love to say that there's a bit of movement, but there just isn't. There is Scamcho news, Elliot. We'll get into that in a little bit. Tottenham Ranger, what's going on? I can't believe you guys have actually... I know. Tottenham Ranger, you've managed to get Gibbs White done in no time. And Kudu too. MEFC Brummy Reds, how you doing? Gungshi, how you doing? Yes, let's go. Get in there, Brigadiers. How you doing, Gungers? Also, Music Cool 24's just subscribed. Thank you, Music Cool, for subscribing to the channel. If you guys are new like Mr. Cool, you can hit the subscribe button down below. It's free. Sully Griffin and Brentford just bought Jordan Henderson. Yeah, I know they just signed Jordan Henderson as well. Yeah, head and shoulders merchant. Anyway, so look, the deal's not off there for Mbuemo. It's still being discussed. It's still being negotiated. There could be an agreement anytime, I suppose. But equally, it could still take a little bit longer. It is a saga. We're expecting it could be done soon. But it also could fall apart. We just don't know. We have to wait and see until this player is actually signed by the football club, and that hasn't happened just yet. It's more meandering, philandering, trying to find some more words that rhyme with andering, but I can't. Either way, it's a lot of fiddy-fannying around is what's going on, guys, at the moment. Let's talk about some player outgoings that could potentially happen, because I'm sick to death of talking about Mbuemo, and I'd like to think that we can get rid of some of these absolutely toxic melters out of the team. one by the name of Marcus Rashford. This is a report here from Florian Plettenberg a few hours ago that says, as revealed on 6th of July, the priority for FC Barcelona is Marcus Rashford. Barca want to try again for Rashford and are prepared to go all in. A few weeks ago, Luis Diaz was priority number one, as reported, but Liverpool rejected the approach. Rashford is now the clear number one target. Talks ongoing, green light from Hansi Flick was already given days ago. The 27-year-old winger is set to leave Manchester United. Get in there, my son. I hope this is the case. Obviously, we've got to wait for an actual bid to come in, but this is reported from Sky in Germany. I mean, take it with a pinch of salt, as always. And Barcelona are expected to push for him. Sky Sports Premier League also basically saying the same thing. I think that's just, using the quotes there from Florian Plettenberg anyway. But Sky reporting that Barcelona are still very much interested in Rashford, and hopefully they will come in for a decent bid for him. We want a permanent transfer. We don't want a guff loan that only really benefits them in the short term. We need a good transfer here so we can get a little bit of cash, get him off of our books permanently as well. I'm talking permanent. We need some money coming into the coffers to go and sign a new striker. That's absolutely paramount. So 40 million quid for Rashford would be lovely coming in there from Barcelona. And if they don't want to pay that, then I guess a loan move's better than nothing. I really do think that it's just important to get rid of him rather than having him stick around and obviously have issues causing toxic environments, or training alone on his own, or just being paid 350k a week to do nothing is just plain wrong. We need this guy obviously gone which way we can. It would be much better to sell him and get the money so we can get some transfers in and use that money right now up front, even if it's a sort of very cut price deal. Like, it seems we just can't get good money for players anymore, but even 35 million right now to go and put towards a striker would be better than a kick in the anus. So I've got to say, I think that is a possibility of him going to Barcelona, because that's the club that he wants to go to. He's been absolutely foaming at the metaphorical gash for them for all summer long, trying to get this move to go, and he hasn't done. And they were having other targets. Nico Williams, he signed a new deal at Atletico, didn't he? And then obviously Luis Diaz, that's not materialised. So they turned their attentions to, third choice Rashi for them. But it could be a loan move because, as I say, they might not want to pay the money up front and the wages that it takes to bring him in. It's a big investment. We're the sort of mugs to do it. But, will they be prepared to take him off our hands for those terms? I don't know. A loan move maybe makes the most sense, because then we can guarantee to get rid of him, and we don't have to worry about a team forking up the cash, which they may not be prepared to do for such a melty player. But let's see what you guys think's going to happen. Right, we don't have a crystal ball here, but they do call me Mystic Pig because I predict these things. Beats guy says no more loans. Tell Barcelona to pay 40 million. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Gungshi, thank you very much. He says smash the like button for Don Piglione. Yes, give us a raw thumbage. Thumb one in there on the likes there. If you haven't done so, help us get to 100 likes. Thank you, Gungshi. Yes, and also, what do you guys think about Rashford's future here? Does he stay? Is it a loan, or is he sold? Let's have a vote. Get your thoughts and opinions in. Unfortunately, I believe it'll be a loan move, maybe with an obligation or an option to buy next summer or something, somewhere along those lines. His wages are horrible. His attitude's horrible. His price tag is not that horrible, but when you factor in the wages, the overall cost of the deal's horrible. His footballing talent is good. It's very good, but it's not elite level. I'm actually kind of surprised that Barcelona would even want him at all, to be fair, because he's a good player, but I don't think he possesses, the most clinicality, the best football IQ, the most vision, all these sorts of things that it takes to be a great footballer. I don't think he's really got all of that. He is very, very good when it comes to creating danger, to be fair to him. He has got a great shot on him, good free kicks, good... His speed is one of his biggest assets. The fact he could just rinse players with his pace and take people on, and but he's more so, like, I would say, I don't know, more so Nicholas Jackson than than Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Not the best, not the king of pop. No, he's average. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, he's a good player, but it's not like he's Luis Suarez going over to Barcelona, when they signed him. That's a different sort of animal. Luis Suarez is one of the sort of best strikers of his generation. Rashford obviously would be playing, I guess, on the left wing. It seems like he's been earmarked for that position, and that makes the most sense because that is his best position, I suppose. That is his best position. He could do really well in that position for them, I suppose. Striker option, not the best, but as a left winger, yeah, he can be decent. He can run at players, he can create chances. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Bottom bliss as Rashford was elite, he can be again. I don't know. I think you might be using the word elite a little bit too loosely there, my friend. That's what I'm going to say there. I mean, he was very good. He had a very good season for us, and he had a couple of decent seasons, didn't he? But he had one very good season where he did bang in 30 goals and stuff. I guess you could argue that was an elite season, which, if you look at the stats, I guess it was. But actually, if you look overall, I wouldn't say he's elite. I wouldn't say he's the sort of player that gets into any team in the world. But if Barcelona want him, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Fair enough. Yeah, he's a baller on his day. Absolutely evil laugh. That's the problem, isn't it? It's attitude, it's effort levels, it's being prepared to do the dirty work. Will he learn to defend or track back? Probably not. He's a lazy shit, says 793. Beats Guy says, was he ever elite? Rashford was my favourite player until he gave up. He's had some great nights, to be fair, hasn't he? He's had some great nights. I think some of the goals he scored for us, brilliant. I remember that performance against PSG in the Parc des Princes. I remember the Chelsea free kick. I remember, that season where he did bag us 30 goals. But the reality is he's more so a 1 or 2 season wonder than a truly world-class seasoned player, in my opinion. Are you panicking yet? I've been panicking for a couple of weeks, lad, in regards to this transfer window and United not getting the players we need. Yes, pre-season tour starts very soon. We had our first game on the 19th of July, which is only in 8 days' time. And we haven't signed Mbuemo and we haven't signed anybody else to work in those games. It's pathetic. Yeah, should use his pace run off the back of the defenders, choose to come short for the ball all the time. He doesn't really take on players anymore. Well, he likes to cut in, doesn't he? He likes to cut in and shoot and stuff, doesn't he? Rashford is there for life, I'm afraid. Elite at partying. How well Rashford plays always depends on his mood. Great shout, motherfucker, Grim. I appreciate you, lad. I have to say, that is absolutely spot on what you're saying there. That's it, really. You never know what Rashford's going to turn up. Sometimes you get the Incredible Sulk turn up. Sometimes you get Dr. David Banner turn up. Sometimes you get the Incredible Hulk turn up. Sometimes you get, Wonder Woman turn up. I don't know. I'm just saying, sometimes you get some superheroes and sometimes you get some melts. It is a bit like that, unfortunately. Same shite, says Jonathan. Yeah. You know it, Paul Warby, lad. Lewis Joshua, how's it going, Ping? I heard Barcelona are going all in for Rashford now, aren't they? Well, that's what we're talking about, yes. I mean, I feel like they can get him right now if they want him. If they want to pay 35, 40 million for him right now, it's not a huge amount up front. Yes, the wages are a lot, but they can get him. He's there for the taking. We can absolutely sell him right now to them. If they wanted to put in a serious offer like that, 35, 40 million, maybe even 30 million with a, I don't know, a sell-on clause, or 30 million with a extra added bonus down the line after he scored 30 league goals. Give us another 7.5 million or something. Who knows? Surely there's some sort of deal that can be done where it still makes sense for us, where we're going to get a significant amount of money up front, but also maybe a little bit of a back end on it as well. And then he's off of our books. Then we're actually saving £1.4 million a month. Just think about how much money that is, guys. £1.4 million a month saved from going out of United if we get rid of Rashford, if his wages are taken away from us. Rashford was never consistent. That's the problem. Yeah, he had one good consistent season, I guess, and even tailed off towards the end of that one, didn't he? Rashford was fair to middling sometimes, but never elite unless it's delusion of grandeur. The fact that there's a debate on if he's elite or not proves he's not. Nobody debates if players like Lewandowski, De Bruyne, R9, Zidane are elite. I don't know about that, mate. I always thought Zidane was a bit of a fucking, bit of a mediocre Robbie Savage. No, you're right. It's true. I mean, that's what an elite player is, isn't it? One of the very best, 1.3 million. Yeah, it's an insane amount, lad. It's an insane amount. Son Goku, hello. You're on your lunch break at work. Oh, nice bosh, lad. Get in, you legend. Get in there, Son Goku, you beast. Great to hear it. He played out the skin for one season, signed a big deal, and hung his boots up. That's essentially what happened. Rashford is only good for writing a children's book. Wow. Rashford's never been elite. Rooney was elite. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I totally agree with you. Okay. Right. Anyway, so, Rashford, yeah. Good luck to him. Go away. Get out of our club. The toxicity, I'm sorry, has just been too apparent. The attitude's poor. Amorim would have never loaned him out. He knows Rashford is a good player. Would have never loaned him out if it wasn't just down to the whole fact of the attitude, really. His effort levels, his tracking back, his work in training, his work in the games, his overall demeanour, any sort of waves that may be being made in the dressing room, that sort of thing. These are reasons why he's been separated. These are reasons why he was allowed to go to Villa. We're not just going to get rid of a talismanic big good player for us unless there's issues there elsewhere. And obviously he wasn't prepared when Amorim first came in to sort of knuckle down and work really hard to force his way into the situation. He just wasn't, I guess, happy with... Well, I don't know what he wasn't happy with. What the fuck was he happy with? Playing for Man United, getting 350k a week on the road to a Europa League trophy. I mean, I don't know what he was not happy with last year, but that's it. The poor attitude there. He should be just trying to get into the team and helping the team. Doesn't want to do that, wants to go and play elsewhere. So good luck to him, but, he's done some good things for Man United in the past. But I just hope we can sell him now because the new era needs to begin. Same goes for Sancho and Garnacho. And just on Sancho, let's get into Sancho for a second. Oh, by the way, Rashford apparently arrived at Carrington 4:45 p.m. yesterday, shortly after Mbuemo had left the training ground. I don't know. But anyway, there is reports going around today, and again, take it with a pinch of salt, but there are reports suggesting that Sancho is demanding a payout from Manchester United to leave. Apparently he wants £4.3 million. Fuck off, Jadon Sancho, you prick! You know what I mean? He's only got a year left in his contract. Let this prick rot in the reserves. Pay him his full fucking contract. Let him rot in the reserves and do piss all for the next year, and then just let him leave on a free, rather than having to pay him 4.3 mil. Is he taking the piss? If this is the case, this is the sort of thing that infuriates me. So there is a deal potentially on the table for him at Juventus. Is he prepared to scupper that because he can't quite get as much cash? Or is he prepared to scupper it because, he wants a payout from Manchester United for the remainder of the contract? This is what's wrong with modern day football. This is it. There's too much player power. He's demanded a payout from Manchester United to leave. This is various reports going around anyway. Obviously, it might not be the case. We've talked about a lot of news over the last couple of days, and we've said that some of it's guff. What was the one yesterday that was absolute guff news? There was some news coming out. Oh yeah, it was Napoli's. What was it? Napoli's president, De Laurentiis or whatever, was basically saying there's some quotes in regards to Garnacho, and just before I went live, thankfully I saw that Fab had posted saying that was fake news. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of bullshit going around at the moment, so this might actually not be the case, but it does sound like something Jadon might be all about. Trying to get an extra little bit of a payday, golden handshake on his way out, pay the remainder, I don't like it at all. I don't think we should do that. I'd rather let him rot for another year, rather than pay him $4 million to go. Ultimately, it's Juventus or the club that's taken him on that should be sweetening the deal for him on their end with a signing bonus or, good wages. And we've talked about the whole tax difference in Italy for these players. Like, these players going over there, they don't pay as much tax as in the UK. And so technically Juventus can pay him a bit less, but he still banks the same amount in his account, essentially. Right? So if you think about that, Sancho may be open to going, but I don't see why we have to pay him any wages. I don't want to do that. We shouldn't do that. That's just, out of principle, I'd rather it cost us double in wages over a year and he just rotted away. Honestly, because I don't like it. I don't like players trying to bend United over all the time. I don't know. On what basis is Sancho asking for $4 million? Well, he has a year left on his contract, okay? Reports are he's on about £300,000 a week, approximately. That's 1.2 million. 1.2 million a month. Now, his contract is until, I believe it's the end of June, maybe start of July 2026. There is an option for an extra year from our side, I believe, but we're not going to trigger that, are we? But he's got a year left. So if you do the math there, it's 1.2 million times 11 or 12, which means that you're getting into significant monies for this guy to stay. And so financially, let's say Juventus were unable to reach the exact figure that Sancho demands. Juventus are only prepared to pay, I don't know, 200,000 a week, which means that he's going to bank 120, or I don't know what the difference would be, but maybe he might come to Manchester United and say, we want this X amount of our remainder of our contract paid in order to go and play for Juventus because they're not offering me as much. You know, some bullshit like that. This guy should be itching to play for Juventus, to be fair. You know, and it's with the World Cup coming up next year as well. It's a great club, great opportunity to play and do well. But no. But as I say, that would be the main reason why he might demand some money as a payout. That's if he can't maybe get as much money from Juventus. It doesn't make quite financial sense, I suppose. Maybe it makes more financial sense for him to just stay, get the 10 million that he's going to get playing for Manchester United, leave as a free agent next summer, and then sign as a free agent for a new football club where they're going to pay, you know, a signing on fee and maybe slightly higher wages as well because he is a free agent. So that's it, really. He's kind of got us bent over a barrel. You know, we have to pay him his wages as long as he turns up and does what he's asked of, does the bare minimum of training, and just works to the bare minimum level. Obviously, he doesn't even have to be involved in the training with the team. He wouldn't be involved in the training with the team, but he'd be training on his own, whatever. He'd have certain obligations that he'd have to hit in order to still get his wages. Otherwise, you could fine him wages if he didn't turn up for training and stuff like that, whatever. So he wouldn't do that. But, you know, from United's perspective, we'd have to have him doing that and paying him the money just to sit there. I mean, just basically just piss off, you know, just go. We shouldn't have to pay him a remainder of the contract. That's what really annoys me about this modern era with player power. It's gone mad. He can shove his 4.3 million up his ass. Hey, there you go there, Jonathan. And to be fair, Chelsea gave us 5 million for Sancho. Use that to pay him off. Yeah, and then we gave them the money bloody back for that Mason Mount playing in the final of the Europa, didn't we? Give him his bar bills, but just show him the door. Yeah, you think back to all the shitty jobs I had where I was overworked and underpaid, and then reading this Sancho stuff pisses me off. He wants 4 million to quit. So true, isn't it? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine working in Sainsbury's supermarket, right, guys? And you want to go and get a job at Tesco's, yeah? But I don't know, it doesn't even work the same way because you don't have a length of the contract. They don't pay you, you know, but imagine expecting some sort of signing off bonus. You know? Football should be allowed to sack players that don't meet contract expectations. 100%, lad. Breach your contract. If you're shit, it's a breach. Is Mbuemo completed yet? No, it's not, bud. No, it's unfortunately not completed, no. But it could be any moment, but it's not. Barcelona not in a position to register any new players and already have unregistered players. That's it. I mean, there's always these talks about Barcelona. I mean, I think they can sign more players, obviously. Let's face it, Barcelona are the sort of shithouse club that always say there's always issues at Barcelona with registering players or affording wages. They always still manage to get these big name signings done, don't they? So I'm not so worried about that. I still think Rashford could go there. They can deregister somebody else and register Rashford, you know, whatever. They can get it done, I'm sure of it. If that was us, we'd pay it Desperados. Good call. Give Sancho the Apollo tyres money. Barry Piguire, what's going on with this club? It's just a shit show, isn't it? Right. Anyway, let's cover the rest of the news. Okay, so, you know, we were talking about Garnacho yesterday. And there were reports going around that Garnacho would be allowed to rejoin his Manchester United teammates for the pre-season training and maybe the tour. But this is a new report that's come out that says Manchester United have not permitted Alejandro Garnacho to rejoin Manchester United teammates for pre-season training. He's expected to leave in the summer. So I don't know who to believe in regards to this, whether or not Garnacho is going to be introduced back into proceedings, maybe joining on the tour, maybe put it in the shop window to try and sell him, and if he's going to be training with the team, or if he's going to be separated with the likes of Rashford or Jadon Sancho and those sorts of situations. But that's what's been said today on Garnacho. Real Betis are confident in signing Anthony dos Santos permanently from Man United, but the 25-year-old may need to accept a significant wage cut to join the Spanish club. So more of that, really. There are talks of Real Betis struggling financially to be able to actually meet the requirements for the Antony deal overall. Not necessarily the amount of money, because they could maybe do a deal with us where they give us X amount up front and X amount later, but more so the wages and the transfer fee combined is an issue. So they are looking to give him a bit less. It's one of those again. Hopefully Anthony dos Santos seems like the sort of guy that he was happy at Betis, he likes it at Betis, he'd want to go and play there, and he'd be prepared to take a small pay cut in order to go. And also there's another difference with we were talking about the other night. What was it, the Beckham rule in La Liga or whatever in Spain, when somebody comes over there with they only get 50% tax for X amount of years or whatever it is. So financially speaking, surely there's something that could maybe be done there in regards to that. If not, then it might be another Jadon Sancho situation. If he's not prepared to take a pay cut to go there, might be another Jadon Sancho situation where you basically have to, pay him the remaining percentage of his contract that Real Betis are not going to be covering. Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. But Antony, if Antony doesn't go, he's not one of those players that I think should be training away from the side or, anything like that, like a Garnacho in his Villa shirt or a Sancho situation. If he can't be sold, then, that's just how it is. Same with a bunch of other players in the team. But there's a few toxic melts we just have to absolutely get out. But anyway, Real Betis, they're understood to still be interested. They're working on it. They're trying to get the finances together. David Ornstein reporting this earlier on, an hour ago, that Viktor Gyokeres does not intend to report for pre-season training at Sporting Lisbon amid Arsenal pursuit. 27-year-old required to join squad, but told Sporting president he won't play for the club again. 5-year Arsenal deal ready, subject to fee being agreed. So it looks like that's being pushed through, doesn't it? Gyokeres is basically angling for a move away to Arsenal. They've got a want-away player on their hands. He's looking to push the move. Arsenal have already agreed to terms with the player. They're going to get him. They're going to get Viktor Gyokeres. And after the other signings that they've made and the other signings that the other teams in the top of the Premier League have made, we're going to get absolutely royally screwed this season unless we do something miraculous in the remainder of the transfer window. I can feel it. This is going to be potentially the same sort of deal as last year unless we do something. Yeah, and Mbuemo and Cunha is great. What about Flubberhands in goal? What about the lack of depth in certain positions like number 6 or the centre-backs? What about a striker? There's a lot of work Man United still need to do to even stand a chance of having a much better season. At the moment, can't really guarantee we're going to have a much better chance next season. It could be much more of the same because the squad's not changed that much. So Ornstein is reporting that anyway, that Gyokeres is basically angling for a move away, pushing for a move away. That forces the hand a little bit more of Sporting. So the situation there is they're expecting to want 80 to 90 million euros for Gyokeres. There was a gentleman's agreement closer to 60 million pounds, I think it was 70 million euros, whatever it was, a short while ago, which apparently they have not honoured. And this is what's, annoyed Gyokeres also, basically being priced out of a move. He wants to go and join Arsenal. He can't join Arsenal. It's kind of similar to the Mbuemo deal. And Mbuemo's understood to be frustrated about that as well. His team can't quite reach an agreement with the buying club because they're asking for too much. Brentford are asking too much for Mbuemo, and Sporting are asking too much for Gyokeres. Closer to 75 million euros, 65 million pounds probably gets the deal done, though. So I do expect this guy to go because ultimately they don't want to have a want-away player on their hands and then not be able to sell him. So I think they will reach an agreement with Arsenal soon. This is just... It's pressure, isn't it? It's pressure from Gyokeres and his camp, putting it onto Sporting to accept a lower offer because Arsenal don't want to pay 80 or 90 million euros. They don't want to pay that. They don't want to pay 80 to 100 for Sesko, and they don't want to pay 80 to 90 million euros for Gyokeres either. They would be looking to get him for closer to 70 million, 75 million euros, 60 or 65 million pounds. So Ornstein giving the update there, and it's gash. It's gash. He is going to Arsenal. I would have just loved it if they'd ended up using him as some sort of scapegoat and going for Sesko, and then he could just rot over there in Sporting. But he is a good talent. He's going to come over and do well. But again, I'm not that bothered about losing him if we sign somebody who's prem-proven with goals, like a Visser, Watkins, Mateta. Did I just say Watkins? What is your name? Anyway, Gyokeres does not intend to report for pre-season, guys. There you go. Also, look at this. Spurs now are evidently doing bits. Yesterday signing Gibbs White and also Kudu. Graham Bailey reporting now as well that a couple of our targets apparently are on their books as well or on their radar. Look at this. Tottenham are doing serious work on bolstering their midfield. Both Douglas Luiz and João Palhinha have been offered to Spurs, and they do appreciate both. But the club have other options, including Adam Wharton. Spurs are going to do bits this summer, aren't they? Thomas Frank, new manager in there. They might end up getting Visser. I think that Adam Wharton is obviously wanted by them. It's going to be a lot of money to get him in, but apparently Adam Wharton is high on their list, and that's a player that would be wanted by myself. And I think a lot of teams and fans in the league personally would be interested in him at the right price. They probably want a lot of money for him, though. Douglas Luiz and Charles Palhinha are both players that we've mentioned this summer that have a link to Manchester United in some way. And I like them both, to be fair. I probably prefer the Palhinha one out of the two of them. But Douglas Luiz, if he was available at the right price or on a loan, you know, we're talking about maybe loan deals here as well. It's not necessarily permanent transfers. United don't have a lot of money this summer, clearly. Otherwise, we'd be doing other bits of business for other players rather than just waiting to get Mbuemo done and selling players. So we clearly don't have a lot of money. So loan deals may well be something that makes a bit of sense for us. We've seen it in the past. We've seen it with the likes of Sabitzer. So, you know, he was a good addition in the end. It would be good to get something like a Palhinha in there on loan, someone like a Douglas Luiz in there on loan. But apparently they've been offered to Spurs, and they appreciate both of them. But there's still more interest in the likes of Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton's the big money move that's going to cost a lot of money. I've heard some reports they want 80 million for him. You know, so if that's the case, then it's probably not going to happen. Because I just can't see Spurs spending all that money, even though they did get the Champions League money coming in, and they've not done crazy business, but they have spent like, what, 115 million or something on a couple of players just yesterday. So it's a lot of money that they have already dished out. They're not the biggest spending club, but even Spurs, I think, realise at the moment that they had such a poor season last season. They lost 22 bloody times in the league or whatever it was. Yes, they won the Europa League, and that saved them. It really, truly saved them in every way. But their overall league form and everything was so bad. They know that they need to do some miraculous changes this summer. That they changed the manager, even though we won the European Cup, to be fair. Or not the European Cup, but, you know, our European Cup. So they obviously made the changes. They're striving for improvements. They are improving their team, even though, you know, we're not. They're making the moves. They're going for it. They're trying to improve. They're spending the money, and we're not. And Spurs aren't usually the club that go out there and spend big money. They're usually the club that melt around a little bit and scrimp and save, you know, and do things a little bit poorly in the transfer window. But not anymore. We are truly the worst big club, if that's what you want to call us anymore, in this window this summer. We went through it last night. We went through all the list of transfers that all the teams have got in the league, basically, you know. Liverpool and Chelsea and Arsenal and Man City, all those teams doing bits. Add Spurs to it now. Newcastle, you know. They're all making strides. Man United, though, left pulling our plonkers yet again. So Tottenham doing serious work, which is crazy, isn't it? Hey, thank you very much for subscribing there, by the way, Daniel O'Reilly. Yes, Daniel, thanks for hitting the subscribe there, lad. If you guys are new, like Music Cool or Daniel O'Reilly, then give us a cheeky little subscribe. We're on here daily with the United News. We've got 300 legends in here. We've only got 146 likes. You what? That's a Romelu Lukaku level of ratio right there. Let's get it up to some Ruud van Nistelrooy numbers, live chat. Smash that like button on it. Give us a like. It helps the channel out. Share it around. Get yourself subscribed. Nice one. Okay. So what am I talking about next? Let's go on to this. Nicholas Jackson, who I am for real. Never meant to make you cry. You just can't score a goal to save your life. I'm sorry, Nicholas Jackson. Ooh. Sorry, guys. So this is from Fab. It says Nicholas Jackson has chance to leave Chelsea this summer after Noni Madueke to Arsenal. He could be the next one to try a new chapter elsewhere. AC Milan asked for Jackson, but Chelsea asking price still too high. Premier League clubs are also keen and informed. Yes or no? Would you like Nicholas Jackson at Manchester United? Look, honestly, I don't get the. I've always thought he's an absolute headless chicken, this guy. I mean, I would take him at United for a few million. Honestly would. But I wouldn't want to pay any significant amount of money that they actually want. You know, we are so desperate right now that him as an option up there as a backup, if he was dirt cheap, you know, it's better than a kick in the anus. But honestly, absolute headless chicken. I don't find him, he's not clinical. He's just not clinical, you know. He is very athletic, very, imposing up there, physical, that sort of stuff. But he doesn't really have that clinicality with goal scoring that I would look for your striker. And also, you know, just I'm not a fan. I've never have been a fan. No, says William. No, says Elliot. No. I am sort of kidding, yeah. I'm sort of kidding. He's better than Højlund. Yeah, fair enough, Man United baby. That's true. He is better than Højlund. However, when I went to the post office the other day, there was a lady who was stood in line, and she was about 79 years old, bent over with a cane, And I'd probably rather her up top than Rasmus Højlund, to be honest with you. So it's not really saying that much, you know. No, he can toss off unless he's 5 million. That's what I'm saying. If he was 5 million, then I guess it's worth it. But yeah, it's not going to happen. Jackson can hit a cow's ass with a banjo. You'd swap for Højlund. Miss Jackson, no. Nil point. And Mbuemo should put a transfer request in if he wants to move. Well, I think he's staying pretty professional at the moment. It's understood that he's frustrated. We saw quotes from one of the coaches from Cameroon yesterday. Basically just said that yes, Mbuemo is frustrated. United just as desperate as me. Probably see United down the local whorehouse. Bloody hell, man. maybe keep that sort of stuff to yourself in future, lad. Should have swapped him for Sancho. It's a no from me, Carol. Is Rasmus training? Rasmus training. Is Rasmus one of the players that's already back? I assume he is, yeah. He'll be training with the team, definitely. Don't get loud when you saw that old lady you built for a bed not turning into Wayne Rooney. Is the heat getting to some people? Do you know what temperature it is in this room right now, guys? The sty has now hotted up to 29 degrees Celsius. Oh, shit, 29.1. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot today, guys. It's really hot today. Bent over with Kane, 70 years old. Is that Wayne Rooney's burner account? Oh, dear. Anyway, right, okay. We're going to get into live chat properly for a Q&A now. I'm going to do a rundown of what we've discussed in this stream very quickly for anybody who's just joining the stream. As always, hit the likes, hit the subscribe, get involved in the Q&A. We're going to go over to X real quick and shout out everyone that's reposted us there. I'm also, while I'm there, going to check out the latest updates, anything that might have dropped in the last 40 minutes or so while we've been waffling on. Stay hydrated. Good shout, Jonathan. By the way, if you can see something on my face here, it's because I've got a horrendous spot pop up again in this spot patch here. My Timo Shaft, the phone calls causing me some fucking contact dermatitis or some shit. But I've got a spot patch thing on there, so it might look a bit weird. Just in case you wondered. Which is like something with like some salicylic acid or whatever shit. I don't know. Anyway, whatever Mr. P gave it me. Right. So, oh yes, the link to the X. Thank you so much for everyone who's reposted us over there. Let's have a little shout out. Thank you to Aidan Vickery, Kieran, Francois Cock, MUFC Primary Reds, Vincent Bullock, and Aaron. Get the fuck in there, you legends. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay, let's get raw into the chat then for a bit. Hopefully, we know Mbuemo's going to be done soon, but probably not. Probably not, but I would expect it would be done in the next couple of days to try and get it in there before the tour. It makes all the sense in the world. You've got to get this guy in for Amorim to work with, at least for the pre-season tour, in my opinion. You've got to do that. Oh, Quality Street's banging, isn't it? Yeah, now at least the defenders will be distracted by chocolate, give Bruno a chance to score. Guys, what do you prefer, Roses or Quality Street? That's the age-old question, isn't it? It's a tough one. I think I used to prefer Roses. But Cadbury's gone downhill, mate. I think I prefer Quality Street these days, you know. You could dig George Best up and he score more than Højlund. All right, there's no need for that, no, CC1. You don't besmirch the great name of Georgie Best like that. Mate, Callum Best would outscore Højlund, do you know what I mean? Fucking Callum Best would. Rasmus ain't going nowhere. How you doing, Jens? It's been a while. How you doing there, Jens? Yes, great to see you, boss. Players in United, they're all having a mare lad at the moment. Training with a blindfold. I am melting. You'd rather cut my arm off with a rusty bread knife. Whatever floats your boat. Stay hydrated, says Jonathan. He needs more than training, Rasmus does. What do you think Rasmus needs? You remember in that film, Mike Bassett's England manager, when they go to that like sports science centre. And they put them on like those treadmills, which controls their legs and makes them run like Maradona and Pele and all these great players throughout history. And then it gets down to the end, and it's like, now you're going to learn to play like Mark Lawrenson. They're like, Mark Lawrenson? They're like, yeah, we run out of money. Fucking great film, that, isn't it? And, you know, what they're going to do, maybe try and do something like that with him. You know? I don't know. Rasmus absolutely going to smash it in this year. We should hold on to him. Heard Luke Shaw's going to be the father of twins. Is he really? Mate, twin Frey Bentosses? Are you telling me he's going to have twins and he's going to name them Frey and Bentos? You know, Frey Shaw and Bentos Shaw. It's written in the stars. Come on, guys. And if he has another child, that one's going to be called Pucker. Oh, I'm here all week, guys. I'm here all week. Sorry. I'm laughing at my own jokes here today. Sorry about that. Quick repost. Get yourself a fan, pig. Oh, I've got a fan on me, mate. It's still hot as fuck. Yeah, 31 degrees in your yard, pig, waiting for the Chinese to open. Oh, go on, Mick. Devour that. Tasty, tasty. Would rather have a wank with a chainmail gauntlet on. Again, whatever floats your boat there, Carl. And again, maybe keep that to yourself, mate. £30 home bargains. Yes, I got one. I got a tower one from Home Bargains, the Pifco, for $19.99, lad. Bargain. Yes. Oh, fucking hell, Man United, baby. You had to go there, didn't you? You had to fucking go there. He says, get that checked. Is that skin cancer? It's a fucking spot on my face, mate. I just told you I put a spot patch on it. All right. Fucking hell. Is that skin cancer, he says? Bloody hell. Frey Shaw and Bentos Shaw, you know it. Thank you, Mikhail Kramer. Appreciate that. Done soon, not interested. Fuck off, you bunch of scum. Wow. Cake in it. Oh, wow. Cake in it coming in here hot. Calm yourself down there, Cake in it, lad. Wow. You've been a welder, that could be skin cancer. Oh, fucking hell. Listen to this guy. Really hope we get Mbuemo soon. Need him for pre-season. Oh, roses. You've had neither. Oh, Heroes of Celebrations. That's a good shout as well. I think Celebrations, maybe. Cadbury's fell off a cliff after Kraft bought them. So true. You like Celebrations better than both? I don't know. I'm all about that big purple one. That's what she said. Elliot Roses. We need to back Ruben more than ever after last season's shit show. Celebrations minus the bounties. I'm a fan of the bounty, you know. I think most United fans forget what's been spent previous years, last 3 or 4 especially. And the reason we don't have any funds for transfers, every other club has because they haven't spent loads. Except Chelsea. I mean, that's a fair point, absolutely. I mean, we're even still paying for signings we made previously that we signed over a period of time, you know. Rasmus needs 2 new legs and a brain. Rasmus Boyden needs to chase a chicken. I feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot. Yeah. Is it true Man United and Juve? No, it's not true yet, you know, Dizzy. But there are reports that that's the case, that there's been an agreement. So, yes, maybe. Maybe, actually. But it's still not gone ahead, has it? So what's holding it up? Don't support them then. Rasmus needs to run, not just fucking whole game trying to wrestle defenders. Needs to have left and right painted on his boots. Oh, I know. I've got to watch the series, mate. I know. I haven't seen it, mate. I don't know what I'm doing, lad. I've only seen the film. Mike Bassett the best. You need 2 strikers and 2 midfielders, a replacement for Malacia and a better goalie. You have no money until you can sell. Relegation a possibility unless you can get... I agree with you, No Channel. I totally agree with you. That's it. We just got to try and offload Rashford now to Barcelona or whoever will have him. Offload Garnacho to Napoli or whoever will have him. That will get us going for signing new players, you know, really. Antony, Højlund, Onana, even Sancho. These guys, you know, Sancho obviously is another one we need to get rid of right now. But yeah, the other guys, they can take their time to go. It's going to be several windows, I think, until we've got rid of all the players we want to get rid of anyway. But I agree. Get rid of those 3 toxic melts, first of all, Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho. And that will give us enough money to sign a striker and a goalie, hopefully. Morgan Gibbs-White moved delayed at Forest, consider legal action over illegal approach. Oh, really? Is that the case? Oh, Rasmus is barely out of his teens. He needs a bit of a seasoning to get his confidence up. Barely out of his teens. I don't know, mate, you know. He might have the acne of a teenager, much like myself. But I don't think he is out of his teens, lad. How old is he now? He is 22. I guess, you know, fair enough. But come on, mate. 22, that's a bloke. I mean, that's a full-grown bloke right there. Nah, he's still a lot more to come. 22 still very young. You're right. 22 still very young. He could definitely do good. Yeah, cancer on a spot. Well, he's got me a little bit worried now, mate. Rude never did it with that club he joined. What's Terry's chocolate orange? That's a cheap cherry chocolate orange. I love a Terry's chocolate orange, me. Vardy and Callum Wilson to United. I'd take it, No Channel lad. We still need a proper first team striker, I think. You know, like a Visser or a Watkins. But yeah, I would take them as backups and get rid of Højlund. Anybody would think Piggy was turned into Quasimodo. It's a couple of spots. Esmeralda, the bells, Esmeralda. Sorry, the heat's making me funny today, guys. I swear, it's making me go a bit strange. Grove Gamer says, we are a shambles, Pig. Leave a 4-pack of Stella and a bash bottle of JD at George Best Headstone on 8th, the 8th, 8 p.m. in this course. Oh, for fuck's sake, Carl. What have you got me reading here, for fuck's sake, mate? Come on, that's... What are we doing here? Don't talk ill of George Best, lad. Because those spots could be general. What's that? Oh, Ollie wants Victor at Besiktas. Go on, Ollie. Rasmus will come good, mark my words. Yes. United buying players who have had half a full good season need to stop. That's the only reason we bought Rasmus. Yeah, but Premier League proven as well, though, makes a difference. Sign of leprosy. Oh, my cheek's going to fall off. Big teams can see what those twats... What's this? Big teams can see what twats those three are. Yeah, no. Most teams probably won't want to go near him. It's a fair point. Their ego's got the better of them. Rasmus, probably worst player in the United shirt. Him and Onana, I'd say, yeah. Did you see that goal in WSL where the player kicked the ball in to get rid and it hit her in face? I don't think I've seen that one, you know, Paul. No, sounds hilarious. Rashi will go to Barca. They won't be able to register him and will return to United as Martinho Razdri for 95 million. McKay Kramer. Let's go. Since we're not able to get any midfielders or strikers, we need a beast of a goalkeeper now. True. Well, who do we go for? Martinez could be had maybe for 25, 30 mil. Diogo Costa maybe for 50. I like those two, but why don't they offer 40 million and Sancho from Mbuemo? I was talking about this the other day. I was saying, why don't we try and give him Højlund? He's a 22-year-old striker. They're potentially losing Visser as well. Surely they'd want some forwards. Callum Wilson always injured. Yeah, well, that's a fair point. But, you know, for a cheap deal as a third-choice backup wouldn't be the worst idea. I'd still rather Vardy. You rather sign a postman just as long as we get someone who delivers. Oh, your voice texted out, no worries. As a City fan, I can tell you no fan of other clubs want you to sign Mbuemo. He's a good player. Exactly. Nobody wants us to get him, mate. 20 goals last season, 8 assists. He's a really good player. Stats-wise, he's up there in a lot of the different metrics for the season last season in terms of, like, chance creation, all that sort of stuff. Really good. Georgie says, today Mbuemo deal soon. Tomorrow Mbuemo deal stalls. Investigations are taking place. I'm boiling hot and bloody angry. United could not buy an ice cream. Hey, Man United, baby, keep it to yourself, you prat. Everyone likes to think there's some sort of fucking doctor in here, don't they? What are you, an oncologist, mate? Do one. If we got Diogo Costa and Edison and Mbuemo, I'd be happy to wait for a striker next season. Yes, I would. I would as well, to be fair. I would as well. Because we've probably got enough players who can sort of do the role for us throughout the season, such as if Højlund was staying, not saying he would be starting, but as the backup, then you've still got players like Xerxes, who I guess could play a false 9 maybe as well, and Mbuemo, Cunha, one of those guys up there. Another day, 0 signings, 0 sales. What's the team thinking? What do you think is the most gash signing so far? The most gash signing so far? Piggy, what do you think is the most gash signing so far? What do you mean? For any team in the Prem or for Man United? Because we've only signed like one player, mate. We have signed Diego Leon as well, but, you know, is he really going to be in the first team straight away? I don't know. Might want more so for the future. Keep hydrated. Good call. Yes, Jordan Henderson, I've seen it. Yes, I know. It's a good move for him, really. I thought he was going to end up going to Sunderland, but he's gone there. You're scared that it's Cunha and Mbuemo. That's it. It may well be, sadly. Probably those two and, I don't know, a free transfer or a loan move for someone. I hope Mbuemo's coming to us. This feels like when we were chasing Bruno and Sancho, Pig, with Mbuemo. United need a decent keeper. Onana's useless. Onana's the cash. Madueke to Arsenal for 50 million is up there with one of the worst. Yeah, that's a lot of money they paid there as well, isn't it? You're so excited about Diego Leon. He's a beast. Onana isn't gash. Gash is nice. Onana's like a 12th player for the opposition. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, here we go. I could see it happening, mate. Honestly, I can. It's such a United signing right now. Who told Onana he was a goalkeeper? Oh, you went to the doctor with a frog growing out my neck. When the doctor asked how long it's been there, the frog said he's been there about 6 months. He started off as a boil on my ass. Oh, Casemiro, 350k a week. That's insane. Have you seen Casemiro coming back looking like he's ripped to shit? Go on, Cassie. He's still got some left to offer, you know. He looks serious this season. Last season looked a bit meaty coming back. This season he looks ripped. He looks ready to go. I'm telling you, he looks athletic. He looks good. He's trying to extend his playing time. I'm all for it. Get Bryan and make do with Xerxes and free transfers like Vardy or Calvin. Yes, fair enough, yes. Angel Gomez and Marseille's gash. I know, Mickey. That's another one, isn't it? Madueke has potential. I think he's a good young player. You'd like Diego Leon, but what about Harry Amas? Also, why is Dalot still at United? Dalot's just been given the number 2 shirt as well, hasn't he? Nah, Dalot's a good squad player. I like his attitude. I think he's great for the squad, actually, because you can play him in a couple of different positions, and, he's good. He's just not top quality. He shouldn't really be the starter. If United were really serious, we'd get someone like Dumfries or someone like that. What's up from Brisbane, Australia, mate? Get in there, Man United Greek fan. All good, mate. We're just looking at the United news, and we're probably going to wrap up this stream in a minute, bro. But great to see you in here. I hope you have a great day going down Wollongong Beach later on, bro. Yeah, the most gash signings the whole transfer window. Thank you very much, Man United, baby. You strange individual, you. No, that's lovely. The only reason I'm calling him strange is because he comes in my FIFA streams chatting mad shit. But he's a nice lad. Looks ripped and another 5 months on the bench. I swear I saw Eriksen back in training the other morning. I thought he left. Really? Yeah, no, he left, lad. Just wonder if Jordan Henderson moved to Brentford lowers Mbuemo valuation. No. Don't think it affects it. Neither does the Vista deal that people keep talking about. Because I guess he was trying to show that he's professional and that he's eager to stay fit and sharp and trying to make himself available for a new team. Dalot's a good player. He's a good player. Is Lindelof still there? No, Lindelof's gone. Lindelof went. Johnny Evans went. And also someone else went too. I always forget. Lindelof's gone. What's the other side of Mbuemo record sound like? I have heard this record too many times. Worse than Taylor Swift. Harsh links. I don't mind a bit of Taylor, Please tell me what's the latest for Mbuemo. Just the same as yesterday, Uchenna, really. Man United still working on it. No advancements. At least not that's been reported. Eriksen reported to be at training. I'm really confused. Is Eriksen training with Man United again? What's going on? Is he just training to keep himself fit for a move somewhere else? Bryan Mbeumo transfer over. Rashford and Sancho should be on Hollyoaks. Rather sign E.T. than Dominic Manbag-Lewin. E.T. phone home. Man United Greek fan. Wollongong's in New South Wales. I'll swing across the border. Dalot's got the number 2 shirt. Yes, Eriksen's gone. Hope so. Let me just see if there's any latest updates that have just come in while we've been live here. Just make sure I haven't missed anything. We're only 6 likes away from 200 likes, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Is there 6 legends out there that have not smashed the like button? Also, give us a massive subscribe if you're new. Oh, we've got a couple of new shirt numbers for Tyler Fredrickson and Chido Obi. Look at this. This is just 2 minutes ago from United. Man United youngsters Tyler Fredrickson and Chido Obi will be wearing new shirt numbers once the action gets back underway. Central defender Fredrickson's moving from number 55 to number 33 after making great strides last term. Okay. And Chido Obi, what's he getting? Chido Obi, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be wearing the 32 after previously wearing the 56. Those are some shitty numbers, mate, to be honest. Anyway. Okay, fair enough. Breaking. Nottingham Forest consider legal action over in what they believe is an illegal approach by Spurs for Morgan Gibbs-White. Deal delayed as it stands. Oh, yeah, there's nothing to do with Man United that's come out. Right, I'll read 1 or 2 comments, then we'll wrap this sucker up because it's so hot in here, guys. It will be 30 degrees by the end of this stream if I don't wrap it up soon. I'm starting to melt a little bit here, to be fair. Yeah. Okay, let's read a couple out. Free signing Eriksen. Yeah, you know what? Lindelof and Eriksen, good signings available on the free transfer market, guys. Oh, lovely Daz Salford, you jammy bastard. Jordan Henderson going to Brentford. Yes, he is. Happy Friday, Resh. Chido getting the number 1. Diego Dalot got the number 2. He did. Yep, that's right. Johnny Evans in charge of loans now, apparently, handling the loans. Yeah, he's some sort of loan merchant for us, isn't he? Oh, really? Bottomless. Nice one. Right, we're going to wrap up this stream anyway, folks. It's hot. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's the Lunchtime Live. We'll be back on tonight around 10 p.m., 9:45, somewhere around there with the latest Man United news and transfer news. Of course, if there is any breaking news in between now and then that's actually big news, breaking news, an approach for a player or a here we go, fab or whatever, we'll jump straight on and we'll get back at it, guys. So keep a lookout, smash the subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications. Drop a thumbs up before you go. Links are in the description if you want to follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Big ups to all the live chat legends in here who've chatted today. Uchenna, Sean, Francisco, Makeu, Lucky Singh, Noble, Man United Greek fan, Jonathan Gallagher. It is cooling me down, Case Slater, but I'm still getting a sweat on, lad. You know, it's like I haven't got it on the highest setting because it's very loud on the highest setting, but I don't know, it's just hot. It just gets hotter and hotter in this room non-stop. It's because of the lights, mate. The lights in here as well, and the sun beaming through. You know, like, it's just horrible, mate. Anyway, nice one, Madhouse, Elliot, Jano, Mikhail, Daz, Superstar, and everybody else as well. Thank you very much, Superstar. And everybody else as well. You can come back after this video's finished, get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we've discussed. Have your say in the not live comment section, and I'll be back on later and we'll have a cheeky little chat. Legends, thanks for watching, guys. United in the mud, really, transfer-wise. This is a shit window. Sort your bloody lives out, you bunch of complete meandering, philandering, procrastinating melt jobs. Not you, them. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Appreciate you. And I'll see you later. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they sink, sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in there.